Thanks for nice introduction, Imat. Welcome. I'm Pradyumna Patidar, working with Trimble as a technical consultant, looking for steel segment here at Middle East office. Today it's my pleasure to give you an overview about what's new for steel in Tekla Structure 2021. So let's get into it. The whole range of the new features, functionality and the update in Tekla Structure 2021 meant for the new users as well as for the existing users. These are in the range starts from modeling, drawing, new extensions, interoperability, and the performance of the software. Although the modeling in Tekla Structure was much faster, but again following our new tagline for Tekla Structure 2021, hashtag different but better, we came with several new features to make the modeling work more easier. So here we are going to discuss some of those features like instructor pane, visual representation during move and copy, part positioning shortcut, the batch editing of identical assemblies, blind hole and partial hole, and the Trimble Connect visualizer. Let's start with the first option as instructor pane. The self-learning instructor pane offers instant support on any command that the user clicks from the ribbon. It uses the offline material and differ from TUA and other help documents and having more graphical helps and also having animations in a few cases. This tool is available offline, so no need to connect with the internet to avail this facility. And also it is available in 16 different languages. The language can be switched from the bottom right corner of the tool itself. So let's see how does it works. So you can see when I select the tool and I hover my mouse to the column and beam command. So it shows me how the user can pick the beam or can create the beam, and then same for the contour plate. So it shows how the user can select the points to create the contour plate. So this is just an example it shows here in the graphical type. Whenever it does not have any graphical help, then it will navigate you to the online available material. So it will be very faster for you to reach the relevant material. Visual representation during move and copy. It's now possible in Tekla Structure to visualize the item during the move or copy. So the item is visible as a 3D view during the move and copy before committing the changes. So in the video you can see when we move the base plate from one column to another column, we can visually see it before committing the changes. So same thing again, I will move the entire column and base plate from one location to another location. So again same, you can visualize it before committing your changes or before picking the destination point. The new part positioning feature. This allows faster modification to selected beams, polybeams or the contour plate for positioning and to set the rotation with simple keystrokes. I can say it is a great tool for the users who prefer to use the short keys. The shortcuts are Alt plus up, down, left and right arrows for positioning it into the X and Y direction, and Alt plus space key to rotate it by 90 degrees in the clockwise direction. So we'll see how the new part positioning feature works in Tekla. After selecting the part, if I press Alt plus space key, it will rotate it in clockwise, and Alt plus up, down, left and right arrows will move it in X and Y direction. So these are the different placements you can see. Again Alt plus space will rotate with different rotation point, and Alt plus up and down key. This command also works with the multiple selections. So in this example, I have selected 4 profiles and I can rotate it and I can move it using the same short keys. So this is how it works. For the contour plate, the same Alt plus up and down key works in the Z direction. Now moving on to the batch editing of identical assemblies. This new function in Tekla Structure allows user to identify, check and edit identical assemblies throughout the model. So for example, if you have several identical assemblies in a model and later there are some changes proposed to all of the assemblies. Then using this feature, you can just immerse the changes to any one assembly and copy all the changes to all other assemblies throughout the model. So this functionality is very much useful for staircase, handrails, miscellaneous and pre-engineered metal buildings where you have plenty of identical assemblies. And also it can be used for checking the discrepancies between the assemblies, of course for multiple editing of identical assemblies. So let's see how it works. Here we have several identical assemblies in this model, and let me click on the batch editor command. So it will load all the identical assemblies after selecting one assembly. And when you navigate to the list, it will select that assembly in the model. So let me change the direction of the clit and the color for the one vertical member. So these two changes I am doing in the one assembly, and after that I am reloading the batch editing option. So these all changes are loaded and ready for implementation. So once I click on the copy, all changes will be copied to all other identical assemblies. As in engineering, a hole may be a blind hole, partial hole, or a throughout hole. Earlier versions of Tekla structure were only capable to handle the throughout hole, but now in Tekla structure 2021 it is possible to handle the blind hole, partial hole, or we can say a combination of partial and blind hole. So let's see first what are these kind of holes. So a blind hole is a hole which is drilled or milled through a specific depth, so it won't cross the material from both sides. And a partial hole is a hole which is partially drilled inside the material. So you can see a semicircular hole, which is the partial hole, which is only partially drilled on the edge of the material. And a partial blind hole is a combination of partial plus blind hole. So it's a partial hole which is drilled through a specific depth only. So let's see how and from where in Tekla structure you can set a hole to be as a partial hole or a blind hole or a throughout hole. So for this example, I have created a set of bolts between two plates and select the bolt. So this option is available here under hole type, and you can select as a blind, and using the depth element you can set the depth for the blind hole. That is how you can create the blind hole. Also for the partial hole, you just need to place the bolt center in such a way so that it will partially cross the material. And for partial and blind hole, you can set the depth for the partial hole. Later on, at any stage, you can convert a hole from the blind to throughout or through partial, anything. When it comes to the representation of blind hole in the drawings, symbol 3 will give you the best result for representing the blind holes. Symbol 2 and symbol 3 can be snapped for creating the dimension for the blind hole. And a hole depth element will give you the depth of the hole in the shop drawings. Currently, there is a non-limitation with this functionality, which is if you create a blind hole between two parts and you set certain depth which is crossing one part, but in another part it is going to some depth only. In that case, in the drawing, the blind hole depth element will give you the depth for the entire hole, not specific to that plate. So for example, in the second plate you can see the hole is going to only 10 mm, but still it is showing the depth is equal to 30 mm. So that is the non-limitation currently with this functionality. A material editor has been added in Tekla Visualizer to enable creating necessary user-defined materials. It allows you to create your own textures, your own custom colors, and apply these to selected parts or a selected area inside your model. And you can also override default renders. Now let's move to the major enhancement in the drawing side. Those are drawing functionality on the contextual toolbar, dimension associativity function, drawing a specific layout, and the improvement in the cloning of the drawing functionality. The contextual toolbar in Tekla Structure proven to provide more flexibility in modeling till now. But now onwards, with the new version of Tekla Structure 2021, it is also possible to view the related drawing for the selected part and also to create the drawing for the selected part. So a new option is added in the contextual toolbar, which is having the drawing icon, and after clicking that icon you will get all these features. So let's see how it works. Here I have selected the column and I will click on the new option, and then you can see in the list it will show all the available drawing for this selected part, and if the drawing is not available it offers us to create it. So when I select the part drawing, it will directly open the part drawing for the selected part. And also, as I mentioned, if the drawing is not available, you can create the drawing from the contextual toolbar itself. Now moving to the new associativity rule function, which allows you to see the associative part with the dimension and also possible to change the associative part. To activate this new option, go to the drawing settings and then the dimension creation associativity checkbox. Once you activate this option, then upon right clicking on the dimension, the new option show dimension associativity rule will be visible. Once you click that, all the dimension associativities will be visible in your drawing itself. So these are the parts will be visible, and you can also change the associative part. Again, here we'll see how this works in Tekla. So in this example, I am just creating one horizontal dimension throughout these vertical members. So let's pick, and you can see during picking also it is showing me the associative parts. And after creating this, I will on the associative part, and easily I can change it from one part to another part. So let me change all the associative points to the vertical members, and also this works for the tagging. So we can tag the part name, for example, and I just have tagged part name, which is visible here as a vertical member. And now let's create again one more dimension with the inclined parts. So these sloped parts only I am creating it. The part name I have given as a sloped part. So here if I again turn on the associativity rules, then I can see all these part name. So here only one possibility. And the same thing is taken as a tag also. Now moving to the drawing specific table positioning tool. So this tool allows you to select the different table position in different drawing on the same layout. So like for example, you have this set of layout, and I will just right click on the BOM and select the option, exclude the template from layout, and then this table symbol will come on the selected item, and like that you can move it to any other location in your drawing. So I'm not going to cover any demo for this function, and if you want to see the demo, please refer to the next session, enhanced documentation. Beside of other drawing features, we also have improvements for cloning functionality, which allows you to produce better quality of drawing, create clone drawing very faster, and reduce the number of errors while creating the new cloning drawing. Let's have a look to the small example I have created to show this improvement in cloning. Here we have a model with 5 similar but not identical assemblies. First of all, I will open the drawing which we have created in the associativity rules. So here that was the drawing. Using the same drawing, we will clone all other 4 assemblies. So here I have selected all other 4 assemblies and select the drawing. After pressing the clone, it will create all other 4 drawings because these are not the identical assemblies. So let's open the drawing, and here you can see even the tags are maintained, dimensions are maintained. So whatever you set in the associativity rule, the tag also maintained based on that, and based on your member name here it got changed. So these are the cloning improvement. Again, coming to the new extensions developed in Tekla Structure, those are relevant to the steel. I'm not going through too much deep inside them because we have a different session purely related to the extensions. The linking document to Trimble Connect. This helps you to link your document with the Trimble Connect, and in the Trimble Connect, via selecting the part itself, you can see the document which you have linked from the Tekla Structure. Same, the new formwork tools set is available to accommodate the formwork structure requirements, and the Excel 2 drawing is also a new and great tool. The crane tool is also available, and this helps you to identify the crane position and the capacity of the crane. And the T-Shape Manager allows you to manage your own plugins or components which you have developed, or it's by Tekla, or whatever you downloaded from the warehouse. Everything you can manage at one place. And spiral staircase, the new tool will allow you to create a spiral staircase, and also its UI offers you to see the modifications while entering the parameter itself. The interoperability with other softwares plays very important role, and this time, beside enhancement in existing features, we have more focused on the interoperability with Trimble Connect. And 2 major features I am going to discuss today are the overlay model and the change detection. The overlay model function allows you to keep track on different model regions along with the history of changes. You can set 2 versions of model as visible at a time and can compare them. And the comparison between the models will be listed out in different colors so that it can be easily seen, and also it will be colorized in the model also. For example, the yellow color is for change objects, gray is for unchanged, and green is for the newly added, and red is for deleted. Change detection function will allow you to detecting the reference model revisions and keep the history of all uploads you made in past. For this feature, you need to keep the reference model name same throughout the model, as if you change the name, then it will consider as a different reference model and it will not detect any changes from the previous upload. To use this feature with overlay model, you need to have the model attached with the Trimble Connect. Now coming to the performance of new Tekla structure, again I will go through 3 major developments. The first one is the graphic hardware test. Second is the GPU information on the view. And the third one is the updated instancing of solids. Tekla has developed a special application to test your graphic card for Tekla structure. This application will test how fast your graphic card handles the graphical information typically used by the Tekla structure, and then it reports and compare this information against other graphic card being used by other Tekla users. Now with Tekla Structure 2021, it is possible to show which graphic card is being used by Tekla modeling, and you can also see the statistics on the view itself. This helps users to know that the graphic card is correctly configured and working. To turn this setting on, you need to make the access show statistics in DX option true, and then after making it true, in your 3D view, the graphical information will look like this. There are some changes to the way the software handles the solid geometry, and now Tekla solids are in local coordinate system with caching of identical solids, which means increase the accuracy in 3D geometry, less solid failures, and the faster numbering. Based on our testing scenarios, I can say the numbering and the model opening are 20% faster than the previous versions of Tekla Structures. Also, Tekla can handle more robust numbering, and the diagnose tool is now capable to handle any broken solid in the 3D model. So that's all about it. As I mentioned earlier also, there are a lot of enhancement and changes in the new Tekla Structure 2021. For more detail, please refer to the release letter which is available along with the download of the software on the download page. Thank you for attending this session. Stay safe, take care. Over to Imad now.